Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, my lovely student. With you, Mr. Abdurrahman Muhammad, science teacher from Al Karim Al Azhari Institute. This video for grade 6 student. Our lesson today speaks about nervous system. Nervous system. First of all, we will mention the importance of the human nervous system. The importance of human nervous system. Number one, it controls and regulates. Regulates means organize all vital operations of the body. يبقى number one, it controls and regulates all vital operations of the body. Number two, it responsible for knowing if things are. When you touch anything, you will know if things is hot or cold, or rough or smooth. That is responsible for knowing if things are hot or cold, rough and smooth. This is a function of nervous system. Number three, it adjusts the emotions, sad or happy, angry or calm. Look to this picture, this person is angry. So the nervous system adjusts the emotions like sad or happy, angry or calm. Number four, it regulates the functions. Regulates means organize. The functions performed by the human body, such as moving, feeding, digestion and breathing. All of these operations is the functions of nervous system. Neuron, it is the nerve cell. What is meant of neuron? It is the building unit of the nervous system. It is the building unit of the nervous system. What is the shape of neuron cell? Like this. Look to this picture. This picture about the neuron or the nerve cell. It consists of two main parts, which are number one, the cell body. All of this part is the cell body. Number two, the axon. Number two, the axon. So the neuron, it is the building unit of the nervous system. Neuron like يعني similar to animal and plant cell, which we studied before. Neuron, it is the building unit of nervous system. It is consists of two main parts, which are the axon and the cell body. The first part of the neuron cell, it is the cell body. The cell body have nucleus, cytoplasm, and the plasma membrane. Look to this picture. It is the cell body of the neuron cell. It contains nucleus, cytoplasm, and plasma membrane. And also there are some branches extending from the neuron's body, which are called dendrites. Look to this picture. The dendrites is the branches extending from the neuron's body. So the cell body is the first part of the neuron's nerve cell, which have nucleus, cytoplasm, and the plasma membrane, and the branches called dendrites. What is the function of dendrites? The dendrites are connected to the neighboring neurons, connecting the two neighboring neurons to form synapse. Synapse like a signal. When you touch something, you move your hand away like that. So the cell body have four main parts, which are nucleus, cytoplasm, and the plasma membrane, and finally dendrites, which formed a synapse. The second part of the neuron's body is the axon. The axon, it is a cylindrical axis covered with fatty layer called myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is about fatty layer. Look to this picture. It is a picture of the axon. The axon is covered with a fatty layer called myelin sheath and ends with terminals. Axon terminals. The axon terminals, it is the connected to the muscle or form a synapse with the dendrites of the other neurons. So the function of the axon terminals is connected to the muscle or form a synapse with the dendrites. Structure of the nervous system. The nervous system consists of two main parts, which are the central nervous system, and the second is the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord, but the peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Structure of the nervous system. The nervous system consists of number one, the central nervous system. The central nervous system, which consists of two main parts, which are the brain and the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord. And also the nervous system consists of the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, which consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. The brain. The brain is nerve block containing millions of nerve cells. The brain is a nerve block containing millions of nerve cells, neurons, and it is the main control center in the human body. If you look to this picture, you will see the brain is located inside the bony box, which is called skull. Again, the brain it is a nerve block which containing millions of nerve cells. That is the main control center of the body. So the brain controls everything in the body, and the brain is located inside bony box, which you call skull. Give reason. The brain is located inside a bony box, which you call skull, to protect it. To protect it. What is the structure of brain? Look to this picture and you will know the structure of brain. The brain consists of three main parts, which are number one, cerebrum. Cerebrum, which consists of two cerebral hemispheres, as we will talk about again. Cerebellum. Number two, cerebellum. Number three, medulla oblongata. So the brain consists of three main parts, which are cerebellum, medulla oblongata. Now we will do an activity to examine the structure of the sheep's brain. Look to this picture and you will see the structure of the sheep's brain. Sheep's brain is similar to the structure of the human body that is also consists of cerebellum and medulla oblongata. The outer part of the cerebral hemisphere is gray matter, but the inner part is white matter. So the sheep's brain is similar to the human brain, and the outer part of cerebral hemispheres is gray matter, but the inner part is the white matter. The first part of the brain is cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Look to this. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and also is divided into two halves, right and left cerebral hemisphere. So the cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and also divided into two halves, right and left cerebral hemispheres, and they are separated by a fissure inside. They are separated by a fissure inside and attached together by the nerve fibers from inside. Again, cerebrum, it is the largest part of the brain. It is divided into two halves, right and left cerebral hemispheres, and that is separated by fissure. and it is attached together by the nerve fibers. What is the function of cerebellum? Cerebellum that controls the voluntary movement like walking and sitting, and also they control the sensory organs, eyes, ears, nose, and skin. The cerebellum controls them. And finally, the cerebellum contains the centers of thinking and memory, like remember something. So the cerebellum, their functions is very important because it controls the voluntary movement, controls sensory organs, and it is also contains the centers of thinking and memory. The second part of the brain is cerebellum. Cerebellum, it lies at the back area of the brain below the two cerebral hemispheres. Look to this picture and you will know the position or the location of cerebellum. It is below of the two cerebral hemispheres. What is the function of cerebellum? The cerebellum maintains the balance of the body during the movement. It is maintaining a balance of the body during the movement. The last part of the brain is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata, it lies in front of the cerebellum. Look to this picture and you will see the position of medulla oblongata. And that also medulla oblongata is connected the brain with the spinal cord. It is connected the brain with the spinal cord. What is the function of medulla oblongata? It is responsible for regulating or organize the involuntary process, involuntary process like heartbeats, regulating heartbeats. Number two, regulating the movement of respiratory system and also regulating the movement of the digestive system. So the medulla oblongata is very important, and that if happen any damage of medulla oblongata that may lead to death because it's responsible for regulating the involuntary process like heartbeats and the respiratory system. Number two, the spinal cord. The spinal cord, it is a cylindrical cord from which the spinal nerve extends. Look to this picture and you will see the spinal cord, which also extends inside a series of vertebrae in the backbone to protect it. So the spinal cord, it is a cylindrical cord and it is extends inside a series of vertebrae in the backbone to protect it, and consist of internal matter which are gray that has the shape of letter H. Look to this picture and you will see the spinal cord takes the shape of the letter H because the internal is a gray matter and the external it is a white matter. After we finished the central nervous system, we will talk about the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves, which are 12 pairs extended from the brain, and spinal nerves, which are 31 pairs extended from the spinal cord. Again, the peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves, which are 12 pairs, and spinal nerves, which are 31 pairs extends from the spinal cord. So the total nerves is 43 pairs. What is the function of the peripheral nervous system? It delivers the sensory information between the central nervous system and all parts of the body. Again, it transfers the sensory information like synapse between the central nervous system and all parts of the body. The reflex action. What is the meaning of the reflex action? The reflex action, it is automatic response of the body to different stimuli. It is automatic response of the body to different stimuli. The responsible organ for the reflexes is the spinal cord. So the spinal cord, it is responsible for reflex action, and this question is very important. What is the examples of the reflex action? Number one, blinking when something gets close to the eye. Look to this picture. The person is automatically blinking when something gets close to the eye. Number two, increasing or decreasing the size of the eye bubble on intense light. Look to this picture. The increasing or decreasing of the eye bubbles in the light. When the light intense, it is the eye bubble decreasing. Number three, secreting saliva on seeing or smelling good food like animals. They secreting saliva like dogs on seeing or smelling good food. And also from the examples of reflex action, it is making a small kick when anybody gets knocked or hit you on your knee. So the examples of reflex action is blinking when something gets close to your eye, decreasing the size of the eye bubble on intense light, secreting saliva on seeing or smelling good food. Ways of maintaining the human nervous system, or how to keep the nervous system healthy. Number one, reducing the intake of stimulating substance like tea and coffee because it affecting the numbers of sleeping hours. So you should reducing the intake of the stimulating substance like tea and coffee. Number two, staying away from tranquilizers and stimulants like these drugs. Staying away from tranquilizers and stimulants. Number three, keeping away from sitting for a long time in front of computer and television. So you should reducing the intake of stimulating substance, staying away from tranquilizers, keeping away from sitting a long time in front of computer or television. Number four, staying away from addiction because it may lead to death. Please stay away from addiction. Number five, doing a physical exercise regularly. Doing a physical exercise regularly. The last thing is giving your body sufficient period of rest, especially during sleep. Sleep enough time. Finally, we have finished our lesson today. Please keep your nervous system healthy, and I hope to see you soon better. Thank you and goodbye.